Hey, welcome to the 10-Minute Toolkit. I'm Susan.
And I'm Dan. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm going to kickstart us today with our first activity, which is a play off of the activity Leadership Objects, which is featured in Susan and Ann's book, Great Group Games. And this activity, there you go, nice little visual reference there. This activity is really focused on our own personal brand and how our brand comes to life in regards to our communications, our leadership skills, and the way that we use influence to get others to think about something differently or to play into our call to action. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna put 30 seconds on the clock. I'm gonna ask you to jump into the chat box and type in as many brands that you can think of in the next 30 seconds. So brands like Apple, like Nike, whatever comes to mind. You got 28 seconds left. So the countdown is on. So as many brands as you can think of in the chat box. Let us know what comes to mind for you. Think about those objects that you use every day, the things that you purchase, the advertisements that you maybe have heard. So we're thinking about any of those objects, any of those brands that come to mind. Go ahead and put those in the chat box. Awesome, thanks Gary. We got Nike, McDonald's, Wendy's, Apple, IBM. We got Hidden Valley, Adidas, McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King. We've got about 10 seconds left. Cheerios, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. Awesome. We got Sealy, Chobani, Stonyfield. Again, these are objects that you think about every day. Look around your physical space. Any brands that stand out to you wherever you are. Taco Bell. Thanks, Gary. We got less than 5 seconds. We got Don, Starbucks, Microsoft. Right, we're looking in our kitchens. What is it that we see? All right, we got 2, 1. All right, and time. So now what I want you to do is I want you to think about any of the brands that came to mind for you or any brands that you saw others type in the chat box. And I want you to think about one brand that really resonates with you the most. So think about one brand that really resonates with you the most. And I'm gonna ask for a volunteer. Let me know which brand resonates with you the most and why. So let me know the why behind the brand you selected. Anybody wanna jump in?
Does it have to be one that was written, or is it some one that we thought of afterwards?
It can be afterwards. Yeah, we'll let that slide.
I'll start with Chobani because I'm insane about their flip top yogurts with the, you flip it over and get the crunch in it, and it makes me feel like I'm eating something healthy, even though I know it's like 300 grams of sugar. I'm saying about it.
Thanks, Patty. Anyone else want to share?
I thought of Chick-fil-A. They hardly market, but when they do, it's just good quality ads. But what I really notice is they're always busy. No matter where you go, no matter what time, they've always got a line. So that speaks highly of the quality of the food and the quality of the service.
Absolutely, thanks Gary. So highlighting the quality, going back to Patty, thinking about like what the product or the brand brings to us in terms of our experience, like we enjoy eating it, we enjoy engaging with it, right? And so how many of you, let's take a guess, how many advertisements do you think the average person sees in any given day? You gotta take a guess, the average number of advertisements you think the average person sees.
Close to 1 million.
Okay, we got 1 million. We got Marielle guessing 132. It's between 132 and 1 million.
500.
All right, more than 500.
750.
More than 750.
Wow.
One final guess?
10,000.
Less than 10,000. So 5,000 is the average number of advertisements that people see in any given 24-hour period. So when you think about all those brands, right? All the ones that we thought of in the chat box, all the ones that we said resonated with us, they all are going to work every single day to cut through the noise, right? To make us as consumers think, feel, and do something as a result of our experience with the brand. Well, the same is true when we think about our own personal brand. So I know these days we're all sitting in front of our computer screens far too long. So I'm gonna ask everybody to get up. I'm gonna put 30 seconds back on the clock. I'm gonna ask you to find an object that is close by that symbolizes your own personal brand. I love it, Miranda. So find an object close by that symbolizes your own personal brand. About 22 seconds left. Something that's the way that you want other people to think, feel, or do something as a result of their engagement with you. Similar to all those brands. We've got 15 seconds left on the clock. I know, Susan, we need like the countdown music.
I was doing the do 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 do.
Do,
I love it.
do, 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 do.
All together.
All right, I'm going to call time. That was perfect. Thank you both. All right, so we're going to count down 3, 2, 1. Everybody show us on screen what is the object that you have selected to represent your personal brand. 3, 2, 1. All right, awesome. I'm going to have Marielle, do you want to go first? Let us know what you picked and why.
Yeah, I picked a gratitude journal, and it's very symbolic of me because I can be so intentional. Like there's days where I'm just right on top of this, and there's days where I don't touch it for like a week or two. So that's me.
Thanks, Marielle. Let's jump to Miranda. What did you have?
So I have a mask that I made, and you can see it like has art. It has art all over it. But I'm currently making these masks for people during this time with the pandemic, and it kind of signifies that I am a creator and that I am creating my own ways of going through this time. And I've also been writing novels and doing all these art projects, and so that's where the creative stands.
I love it. Thanks so much, Miranda, for sharing that. How about Gary? What do you got?
I picked up a sticky note and an ink pen.
Nice.
Because I've always got something going on. Like Miranda, it's either marketing or creating or something. So I have to have something to write things down on or I forget.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let's jump to Susan. What do you have?
I have this wonderful mug. And you'll notice the resemblance. If you guys didn't know, Gary's my brother who's on this call today. But this picture of joy and fun and playfulness and connection and relationships is the drive behind everything I create, whether it's in books or in trainings. I want this connection and the vitality and the fun to come out. And in all good things, it's on them to create the moment. I was just the one who took the photo. I'm just the one who gives the tool.
You captured the moment to share beyond. Right. Love it. Jackie, what did you have?
So I have a handwritten note, and I really value when I get those or when I can take some time and give them to people I love, and it has like a little drawing too. So it just kind of like others have said, just kind of that creative spirit. And like y'all were saying before too, just especially now, we're so kind of overexposed to technology and kind of mass created things. So something that's more like personalized and special, like handwritten. So.
I love it. Thanks, Jackie. I think one of the best pieces of advice I've heard recently in a podcast I was listening to is anytime you feel stuck, create. And just the practice of creating, it doesn't even matter what you create, but as long as you engage in some form of creation, it will sort of unlock your mind in a new direction and allow you to get up and over the hurdle that you're facing in the moment. So I love that so many people highlighted that. And Patty, last but not least, show us what you got.
I have a shell. I live on Cape Cod by the ocean, and in the shell are different rocks and crystals, and I'm very connected to nature, and nature informs me and gives me solace. And like Susan, I consider myself like the vessel, and I put ingredients into my work and people and ideas and skill sets and all different diversity of resources, something like that. But so I picked a shell and a bunch of rocks and crystals.
Awesome. Patty. So just as we wrap up this little exercise, I mean, this exercise is a great way for us to come together and strengthen or build a sense of community with the people that we're engaging with. It can take longer or shorter period of time, depending on how much time you have to allocate. But it really reminds me of the Maya Angelou quote that says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And one of the things with this particular exercise is a reminder every day that when we wake up, we have the choice to make. How are we going to make the people we feel and the people we interact with feel as a result of their experience with us? And if we can keep that in mind in terms of our words and our actions, I think we'll live in a kind and a compassionate world. And I think that's pretty much something we all would strive to have. So thanks so much for tuning in. Susan, I'll kick it back to you.
And that's perfect. 10 minutes, we're done. Like you said, that activity, where we actually chose our thing comes from Great Group Reflections, and we just adapted it for leadership. So we promised 10 minutes, so we'll cut off here and say goodbye unless you want to stay and ask us questions, and we'll hang. But thank you guys for being part of this. It's fun to see everybody.